how to invest in stocks properly. It's like anything else. You're going to golf, or you're going to learn how to play tennis, ski. You need to be with someone. Learn off of them, one-on-one. Now, that can be really expensive, cost thousands of dollars. But I have a program that you can join for 10 days free.
Go to philsgang.com and sign up for a free 10-day trial. Phil Grande has developed tools to teach you how to invest in stocks properly. Not only when to buy stocks, but how to sell stocks short.
85% of people in the market lose money. Get out of that group by just joining Phil's gang.
Now you can learn to invest like a pro with a pro. Phil Grande. Take advantage of this special offer for a free 10-day trial at philsgang.com.
Try it. 10 days free.
That's philsgang.com.
philsgang.com.
What does it take to be a successful investor in the stock market? Developing your skills and learning from an expert like Phil Grande and philsgang.com.
It doesn't have to be hard or complicated to learn how to invest in stocks properly. It's like anything else. You're going to golf, or you're going to learn how to play tennis, ski. You need to be with someone. Learn off of them, one-on-one. Now, that can be really expensive, cost thousands of dollars. But I have a program that you can join for 10 days free.
Go to philsgang.com and sign up for a free 10-day trial. Phil Grande has developed tools to teach you how to invest in stocks properly. Not only when to buy stocks, but how to sell stocks short.
85% of people in the market lose money. Get out of that group by just joining Phil's gang.
Now you can learn to invest like a pro with a pro. Phil Grande. Take advantage of this special offer for a free 10-day trial at philsgang.com.
Try it. 10 days free.
That's philsgang.com.
philsgang.com.
What if you could have an in-depth understanding of the stock market just like the pros? Well, thanks to Phil Grande and philsgang.com, you can. philsgang.com offers comprehensive, up-to-date market information designed to help you understand and anticipate market behavior. With philsgang.com, you'll build your investing confidence even through down cycles and periods of uncertainty. Go to philsgang.com. philsgang.com today. 877-600-GANG. 877-600-4264.
As the new year approaches, make a resolution to challenge yourself to become the best investor you can be. Phil Grande can take your trading to a whole new level. Innovative stock market investing tools and the experience of over 50 years combined to give you the edge in controlling your financial future. As a Phil's Gang member, you're taught the essential strategies of investing using stock charts, training videos, and seminars. It's information Wall Street doesn't want you to know. Learn more at philsgang.com. philsgang.com.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande at philsgang.com. You know, I've been doing this business of trading over 55 years. God, they make it so complicated. It doesn't have to be. The best way to learn is to follow me, my actual investments. That's right. When I buy a stock, you follow me. Do exactly what I do. That's the best way to learn.
Check out the free 10-day trial. Learn more at philsgang.com.
Be my co-pilot at philsgang.com. Do what I do.
That's philsgang.com. When you listen to the advice of Phil Grande at philsgang.com, you'll find investing in the stock market makes sense with the right guidance.
People keep saying to me, boy, things are hard. Things are tough. Boy, the market's really screwed up. And I don't agree with them. For us here at Phil's Gang, you know, we make it so it's simple. It doesn't matter if the market's bad or good. We consistently do well because we make it simple. And just like for my listeners on the radio or on the internet or my podcast, we make it simple. We try to break it down so you really understand why the market is going up or why there's continued inflation or why the bank rates are going up. So you understand. Especially yields. The most important thing to understand how yields work. Just what we do. We work hard at it.
Trusted advice, easy to understand strategies that will make you a better investor. Get all the details at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. Why are investors listening to Phil Grande of philsgang.com?
You know why people listen to my show? Because I make it simple. When you talk about the stock market, they make it so complicated. I make it easy to understand. For the average investor, the Main Street investor, most of the time, these guys, like they're talking to each other. We talk directly to you and we listen to you.
Invest better with the sound advice of Phil Grande at philsgang.com. When you listen to the advice of Phil Grande at philsgang.com, you'll find investing in the stock market makes sense with the right guidance.
People keep saying to me, boy, things are hard. Things are tough. Boy, the market's really screwed up. And I don't agree with them. for us here at Phil's Gang, we make it so it's simple. It doesn't matter if the market's bad or good. We consistently do well because we make it simple. And just like for my listeners on the radio or on the internet or my podcast, we make it simple. We try to break it down so you really understand why the market is going up or why there's continued inflation or why the bank rates are going up. So you understand, especially yields. The most important thing to understand how yields work. Just what we do. We work hard at it.
Trusted advice, easy to understand strategies that will make you a better investor. Get all the details at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com.
The stocks discussed on Phil's Gang are not in any way a recommendation or solicitation to buy, sell, or hold. If considering acting on information presented, we first recommend you seek out a competent, licensed professional for advice. Get ready for the radio show that tells you what Wall Street doesn't want you to know.
Oh, I'm a money magnet. Money, money, money's coming to me. Money sets me free. I'm a money magnet. Money, 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 money's coming to me.
It's your daily dose of how to manage your money. And now it's time for Phil's Gang on the Off the Wall Street Radio Network. With your host, Phil Grande.
The numbers that we're getting on the real economy show that it's holding up remarkably well.
Yeah, that's really a good one. Can you imagine? That's what they were saying about 3 weeks ago. They've been lying to us. They continue to lie to us. It's amazing. Listen to this.
I think the economy's fine. The labor market's fine.
How often have they told us the reason we're not in a recession is because we have a strong labor market? The reason we're going to have a soft landing, even though we haven't had a soft landing, remember, we only had a soft landing one time in 72 years, but they kept saying what's going to happen because we've got a strong labor market. That's all they kept telling us, strong labor market. We find out.
I would say the labor market is still reasonably healthy.
Healthy? Are you kidding me? Were you nuts? This is amazing what they did. Now, let's think about it for a moment. These fake 833,000 jobs. Now, mind you, not any major television network would carry it. Now, you almost couldn't find it anywhere. Fox carried it. That's a big deal. But of course, they didn't want that to be a big deal because of the DNC, what was going on this week with the DNC, the party they were having. But 800,000 jobs, that's insane. So it was 242,000 new jobs a month they were telling us they were creating. But that wasn't true. They're only creating 175,000. So the labor market is so much weaker than we're being told. That's one of the reasons why he cut rates today. And by the way, when you cut rates, over time in history, we've seen many times where they've cut rates too early, where there's still inflation, especially on necessities. And that's the problem we have right now. Our necessities are still very high. Gasoline, groceries, insurance, healthcare. Now, yes, inflation is coming down in discretionary items, big screen TVs, appliances, vans. People aren't buying those. How can they? If they buy them, they put them on their credit card. That's right, they put them on the credit card. And by the way, how could we have had such a strong labor market when people are drowning with credit card debt? That's what gets me. When they used to say the labor market was strong, I always ask the question, well, then why is it that credit card debt is at an all-time high? Almost at 1.2 trillion, about 1.4 trillion, a little bit more than that. So how could that make any sense? Again, they're lying to us. Are you nuts to tell us the labor market is strong and the credit card debt is the highest it's ever been? 1.14 trillion? And they're increasing it by 275 billion, 27 billion every 3 months. Every 3 months. That's $6,300 per individual. But here's the tough part. The interest rate on these credit cards are 22%. Are you nuts? Now, people think it's just, well, it's only those folks that are making, $45,000 a year, $65,000 a year. No. 62% who make $50,000 or less a year are paying minimum payments, 22%. But 62% of those making over $100,000 a year, that's right, over $100,000 a year, they're paying a minimum payment of 22%. In other words, they're just making minimum payments and they're paying a 22% interest. So both those who are making less than 50, those who are making 100 and more, they're not paying down their credit card debt. And they're willing to sit there and pay 22% interest. They'll never dig themselves out. It's impossible. So when they told us the labor market was strong, what are you, nuts? You can look all around and know they're lying to us. Now, just think about it. People are spending about $300 to $400 on their children to go back to school. And the credit card companies are having no ball because everybody's putting it on their credit card. This is amazing. And the same thing that happened last year. But yet they keep telling us the labor market is very strong. Now we know how they did it. We know how they did it. So this is nuts. And also, remember, in 2023, we lost 1.6 million full-time jobs. And they replaced it, that's right, the Biden White House replaced it by 1.8 million part-time. You know where all those jobs are for? Most of those jobs went to the health care service. So 40% of all new jobs, think about this, are government jobs. 40% of all these new jobs, government jobs. And 30% are health care. So in essence, I guess what I'm saying is 70% of our labor market are government jobs. And most of those jobs are health care jobs, low-paying health care jobs. This is nuts. Now, they keep telling us how strong manufacturing is. I couldn't understand that either. When they're losing 13,000 manufacturing jobs last year, and this year they're on a run rate of almost 28,000? But they keep this all a secret. Keep it all a secret. Employment in the last 12 months, Biden-Harris, illegal hires have increased by 637,000. And, I mean, think about that. 637,000 illegals were hired, while the American employee, they only hired 300,000. So 300,000 Americans were hired, but 637,000 were illegals. They were hired. What are you, nuts? This is just insane. So they tell us how great they've been lying to us about the labor market. Well, that's nothing new. Nothing new. And they got to start telling the truth, especially on the job number, especially on the unemployment number, because it's really important to know. One of the most important numbers is how many people are signing up for an unemployment check every week. That's the important number you got to look at. I mean, we have something like nearly, I'll check the number, I think it's somewhere around 8 million, 1.8 million people who are sitting there collecting unemployment checks. Unemployment checks. Now, it's important Do you think they're giving us an accurate number? Are we going to be so lucky? If they lied about the job numbers, are we going to be so lucky to think they're going to tell us the truth about the number of people they're collecting unemployment checks? Do you think they're going to be honest about that? I don't think so. Now, why is that an important number to know? It's a very important number to know, because when people go on unemployment, I'm going to check that number. I think it's 1.8 million. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I think it is. We'll check that out. But that means they're taking a pay cut. Their income is going down. So that means our consumption is going to be less. That means our economy is not going to grow. So it's important to have that that number. It has to be accurate. It's got to be accurate. 5.6 million people collecting an unemployment check. That is nuts. That is nuts. Remember, it was Bill Clinton who cleaned all that up. You just couldn't get an unemployment check. You couldn't get an unemployment check. You had to really work hard to get an unemployment check. He did a great job with that, but this administration, they'll put anybody on unemployment. They don't care. So that's where we stand. So today we got word we're going to have a rate cut. Oh, wait a minute. A rate cut? Now? That's insane. That's nuts. We're going to have a resurgence of inflation. Remember when Volcker came in after Jimmy Carter really destroyed the economy? And Biden now is worse than him. And what happened was he did the same thing. It was in the 70s. He did the same thing. And so all of a sudden we start seeing they started to cut rates, thought they'd get the economy going again. Instead, there was still too much inflation. And guess what areas? Necessities. And inflation shot back up. More often than not, if you go back in history and look when they cut rates, if you still have that, and remember, prices are coming down, but prices are coming down in the wrong area. Like I said before, prices aren't coming down on food and gasoline and car insurance and those sort of things. So this is very dangerous that they're cutting. And of course, they're cutting right before the election. It's insane. So Volcker, when he came in, he had to come in because he started to cut rates, just like we're going to do now. There was a big resurgence of inflation. Volcker came in and had and moved the interest rates up from 11% to 22%. And he finally broke the back of inflation. We are not breaking the back of inflation. We're going up a quarter point. What are you, nuts? A quarter point? First of all, it takes 12 to 18 months for that quarter point to take hold. When they cut rates a quarter point, you don't wake up the next morning, all of a sudden the economy's booming, everybody's out there buying cars and buying speedboats and everything else. What are you, nuts? No. The economy, folks, don't feel it for at least a year. The problem with Powell, he doesn't know what he's doing. It was transitory. Remember, inflation was transitory. They lied to us. He's in a box right now. He has no idea what he's doing. And he is the lapdog for this administration. He's going to do what they tell him to do. You really need to have somebody voted in. That's right. You've got to have somebody voted in. I don't think any president should be able to appoint. Okay? That's crazy. It should be a job that it has to be voted on. We'll vote somebody in there so that they're working for us, the people. I mean, it's really insane when you think about it. One of the most important jobs, deciding when to raise rates, when to lower rates. Are we going to increase the money supply? Now think about this, is really nuts. You know why the stock market's up? It's been going up for 15 years because we injected $27 trillion. We printed it and injected $27 trillion. Now, some of that money, of course, went into the economy. But that's nuts. I mean, that's how the market rallied for 15 years. People were buying the companies were buying their own stock back. We injected that kind of money into the economy, but into the banks, so the banks could turn around, loan it to companies, the companies could buy their own shares back. And look what happened this week, or last week, $5 billion a day in purchases, stock buyback purchases. After we had that 2,000-point drop, a few days later, boom, takes off. Now, again, our gang, Phil's gang, we caught that rally. We caught it right at the right time because our charts pinpointed exactly where to get in. Because, see, that's what you have to do. You have to follow the money. And we did terrific. My gang, our stocks, are up anywhere from 7 to 20%, our individual stocks. So we caught it perfectly. But everyone thinks, well, it's over now. No, it's going to come back down again. So you've got to be careful. As you notice today, on this rate cut today, you notice the big tech stocks didn't rally. I'll talk about what the market's going to do after I get back from this break. Join my gang, philsgang.com. It's free for 10 days.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG.
At St. Jude Children's Research Hospital, we're fighting against childhood cancer every day. At the heart of this battle are our donors.
Most of us want to make some type of difference in the lives of others. St. Jude does miraculous work.
The fact that no one has to pay, it's a place where everyone is treated as an equal.
Everybody is welcome here. And it doesn't matter your religion or what part of the world you're from, all that is taken away. It just gives you some hope.
It's just a nice feeling to put your energy into something that really does genuinely make a difference in a child's life.
There's just no greater gift. If we have the ability to help, then we have a responsibility to help.
Finding cures, saving children. St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Find out how you can help at stjude.org.
If you want to invest your money and grow your wealth, listen to this.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande at philsgang.com. You know, I get so tired of listening to the same garbage every day, listening to the fake business news network telling you why you should buy this stock, why you should buy, and they're always wrong. Join my gang, philsgang.com, free for 10 days. You're going to learn when to buy a stock and when not to buy a stock. Hey, years ago it was different. You could buy a stock based on fundamentals. You could buy a stock based on earnings. You could buy a stock based on PE ratio.
Welcome to the Phil's Gang Radio Show. Want to know more about Phil's Gang? Go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264. Now, here's Phil.
And welcome back to Phil's Gang. So remember, you can join my gang. All you have to do is go to philsgang.com. And we have a terrific school, if you want to call it. Here, I'll show you. This is our training course, one of our training courses. So what you do is you join the gang, and it's $39.95 a month. Also, if you take a look at these training courses, we have one for beginners, and then we have one for, that we teach you pattern recognition, because that's what you do. You follow the patterns, you follow the money, don't follow the BS. And you can put out of your mind the economy, what's going on in the economy. Remember, fundamentals. No professional follow fundamentals anymore. Those are out the door. Fundamentals, we never used fundamentals again since 2009. Since 2009. Obama blew that up, and Bernanke. fundamentals are gone. If you take a look at the money that's been put in, the money supply, $27 trillion, and you want to follow the money of the big institutions, and we show you how to do that through patterns. Remember, it doesn't matter. People still think, fundamentals are still, you got to know everything about a company before you buy its stock. Are you nuts? I got to know the forward PE ratio, the trailing PE ratio. I got to know the return on assets and return on equity so I can judge the management, price to sales, price to goods. That's out the window. That was out the window in 2009. Are you nuts? When you're spending, and think about this, the amount of money that they're spending is insane. It's just insane. And so, I'll just show you here in 1 second. We're spending, there's $196 billion in new debt every month. Someone should go to jail for this. There's, again, this is, remember, Harris, in Biden administration, or Biden-Harris administration, which is soon going to be Harris administration. You think she's going to change this? I don't know. But $196 billion in new debt every month. $6.4 billion in new debt every day. Every day. What are you, nuts? Or how about $4.5 million in new debt a minute? Every minute that goes by. And $74 million new debt per second. So you really think by cutting interest rates a quarter point, it's going to make any difference? Then why is it today that the big tech stocks didn't go up? Oh, they're going to tell us everybody's rotating now. We're all rotating away from big tech. We're going to go to value stocks. Value stocks, sure. That's like asking a cokehead or somebody on heroin, okay, why don't you we don't want you to use heroin anymore. Why don't you just switch over to, instead of heroin, why don't you use a little bit of, just chew gum. How about chewing gum? That should take care of you. Just chew some gum. That's the same thing. How could anyone in their right mind say that we're spending $74 million of new debt per day, per second, and think a 0.25% interest cut is going to help us? It's not going to help. It's nuts. But anyways, so if you want to join our gang, we've been teaching our Team Traders program. We've been teaching for 25 years. I've been in the business for 50 years. And we've been active teaching folks just like you how to use charts. And then one chart that we developed is our own chart. It's a color-coded chart. It tells you when to buy, when to sell. And it teaches you to go right, just follow the money. And you shouldn't be trading any more than 6 stocks a year. 80% of people in the stock market are losing money. What are you, nuts? 80%. They have too many stocks, number one. First, if you stay with the same 6 stocks, take 6 of the best sectors out of 11 in the market. Take the 6 top stocks in each one of those sectors and follow that stock. Follow the money. And then you sit back and you wait for that buy signal. Then you wait for that sell signal, and you'll make money. You won't, no longer will you be part of the 80% who loses money. Isn't that a sane number, 80%? You won't be part of that. So going back to the government for a moment, and I want to show you before I do that. Let's go back. I want to show you this. What you're talking about teaching. Your people don't have any idea what's going on. You see this? This is when we had that rally, when the market dropped big because of Japan raised the interest rate on the yuan. And remember, the guys on Wall Street, the big hedge funds, they go to Japan, They borrow money from them. They take that money. Then they come here and they borrow the dollar, and they take the dollar and they go and they buy stocks. And they're making a ton of money until the dollar, our dollar, kept going down and down and down. And that was killing Japan's currency. So all of a sudden they had to raise interest rates. And that's why the market dropped 2,000 points. And then they came back and said, oh, we're not going to do that again. Like, you can trust them? If you look in history, you can't trust a thing Japan or China tells you when it comes to economics, it comes to their markets. And today what happens? They come back today and they say, well, we got to protect, we're definitely going to protect our dollar because, I mean, our currency, they're going to have to raise rates again because the dollar's going down again, okay? And I'm not saying we're going to get another 2,000 point drop, not saying that at all. But I can tell you this. When you look at the market right here, see how that market rallied, and you're going to ask, well, why is that red? Well, these are my color-coded charts. We've had these for 25 years. They work beautifully, and we work right with our gang members on these. So what happened, yes, the market rallied, but it told us something. It told us that there wasn't enough money coming in. It pushed it up, okay, but you got to have enough money pushing it. If a market rallies, price can go up. Remember, price can go up without on what we call light volume. That's very dangerous. So what we did is we didn't miss this at all. We took advantage of it, and we switched our chart to our Pro 1. See over here? Now your Pro 1 chart, we bought this on Pro 1. You can see over here. Over here, that means this is a shorter period of time. There's enough money in the market coming in over a short period of time that you go in and you buy. It gives us a buy signal to go in. And that's what we did. And the reason you don't buy over here is because what can happen if you're in long term, you can wake up one morning and all of a sudden you can see this market. You wake up one morning, you think you're doing great. Remember, the color code is telling you, be careful. There's not enough money coming in that can correct at any moment. And so you could wake up the next morning and all of a sudden the market's down here. And it warns you. So what we do is we go and we bought at a short period of time where the money's coming in. Remember, money comes into the market quickly. And we buy at the point where it's coming in really quick for a short period of time, about 2 or 3 days. And look what happened right here. We caught that whole rally. We caught that whole rally. That's the beautiful thing about our charting. That's the beautiful thing, because this tells you how to follow the money. And the other thing is this. See this right here? When this is red going up and see this going down, see how the red line and the yellow line, that's telling you right here, there's not enough money going down. So let me just show you what I'm talking about right here. This is telling you right here, this shows you the flow of money is going out of the stock. There's not enough money going in. Yes, price is going up, but there's not enough money flowing in. In fact, the big guys are taking their profits and they're running, you see. But we still caught it because we used this chart over here. These are the things that we teach. You know, follow the money. Don't follow the noise. You'll be out of your mind. You'll never make money. So today, we found the tech stocks were having one hell of a time because everyone said, you know, don't go into the tech stocks. You know, go into value stocks like, you know, Philip Morris or Clorox or whatever. Look, all I can tell you, if I show you, I want to just show you one chart here. Here, I'll do it here for you. Here's what you got to think about in the market. You're going to ask, what's the market going to do? I'm going to show you. Okay, this market, the trend in this market was right here, like this. This was the trend. So the trend in the market before that rally right here was like this. It went up, and it's at the most dangerous point. The market was peaking. It's at its peak. It told us it was peaking, okay? And that's when everybody started, the big guys get out of the market. It pulled back, and then they had buying a dip, buying a dip. It went up, peaked again, and failed. And then pulled all the way down here. And that was because, remember, of the situation going on with Japan and their interest rates. So how did it go up so fast? Well, it just happened to be when you're in earnings season. Our earnings season just ended a couple of days before this happened. When you're in earnings season, the big companies cannot buy their own stock back. So the timing couldn't have been more perfect. When the interest rates went up on the Japan currency, and then the hedge funds had to meet margins, and the stock tanked. It was all the largest companies now could buy. They jumped in and bought $5 billion a day, but now it's stopped. So you got to be very careful right now. So two things are going to happen. You most likely will get a pullback back to this line right here. See that trend? Then you're going to get another one big rally going right up, probably right through to the election. Now, that's probability. Remember, everything in this business is probability. The stock market always does what it's supposed to do, but never when it's supposed to do it. And every morning when you get up and you go to start trading, you lose your opinions. You don't lose money. Every time you decide to make a move in the market, or somebody tells you this stock's going to do that, this stock's going to, always remember, everything's on probability. There's no certainty. There's no certainty. But what gives you the edge? Knowing how to follow the money. And what gives you the real edge is when the market collapses like it did right here. My members were shorting. We were shorting. You got to learn how to short. Once you learn how to short, you got it made. That's when you can really make some money. But you know what they always say in this business? You make money buying stocks, but you create real wealth when you short stocks. Just look how fast the stock market goes down. It goes down so much faster than it goes up. Okay, back to our job numbers. So they're going to tell us everything's fine again. The labor market's fine again. Everything's good. They're cutting rates. We're in a wonderful situation now, and the market's just going to go straight up from here. Now, remember, I told you there's a high probability it will pull back a little bit first, and then we'll have this one big rally. That's a high probability. Not for sure, it's a high probability. But the beautiful thing about knowing how to short, because the market is made up of probabilities, it's probabilities. There's no certain. When someone says, buy this stock here, it's a wonderful stock, look at the earnings, they're opening up a new store here, and they're closing this store. They're all full of crap. Nobody knows. It's all about probability. But what helps you is following the money instead of the BS. And once you follow the money and learn how to follow it, what a difference it makes. So go check it out. Go to philsgang.com. It's free for 10 days. Please click subscribe, click like. Do me that favor, okay, and share. I'd really appreciate it. So I hope the information I gave you today is going to help you out, especially with the stock market. As I said, I believe it's going to pull back. Remember, the big tech stocks didn't move. Remember, it was the big stocks, tech stocks, that have been moving this market for 15 years. Didn't move today. That's right. You really think people are going to sit there and keep buying, going to buy Coca-Cola and Lazy Boy Cheer instead of NVIDIA? How long are they going to do that for? They're addicted. They're addicted to these AI stocks, to the cloud stocks. It's not going to last long. Well, that's about it. And remember, the government is our largest employer. They're our largest employer. And we have 18 million people you and I are paying for. It comes out of our taxes. You and I pay for it. And most of the jobs in this country are now almost government jobs.
You have been listening to Phil's Gang.
That's not productive, because we have to pay it.
Radio Net, off the Wall Street
That's it.
Radio
I'll
Network.
see you
Remember to
on the
visit Phil's
chart.
website at
Thank you for
philsgang.com.
listening.
That's
Check out
philsgang.com. Or
my
call
gang,
the office,
philsgang.com.
877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264.
It's up to me to make my